Hey everybody, I'm Sean Hammond. We're at Musikmesse 2011 at the DV Mark booth with Mitch Colby, who you just heard. How's it going?
Going great. Great, Sean.
It's loud over here. So you guys have several new products at this show that you're showing people, and you were just playing through the Little 40 L34. You want to tell us about that?
Sure. The Little 40 is a simple layout amplifier that's got some really interesting features on the inside and great tone. If you can look at the layout, we've got gain, bass, middle, high, master, presence, what you'd find on very simple one-channel amp. But some interesting things include this continuous power control. So I had that on about 5 watts. So it's not a high gain amp, but as you could hear, you can get some high gain sounds out of it because we were pushing the power amp. Low gain preamp, high gain power amp, really natural sounding distortion. If you bring this up to 40 watts, obviously it's a little different. It's going to be a clean sound and with a lot of high headroom. Very full clean sound, full body clean sound, a lot of lows, a lot of highs. And again, all I'm going to do now is switch to the humbucker, bridge pickup, bring the power down, and you can hear the difference. That's the same preamp with about a 5-watt power amp that's being overdriven by that preamp.
Sounds great.
And we also have a boost switch, so if you want a little bit more gain. So it's a great little amp for recording, playing in the house, really satisfying sound, but it's also great for playing live because you can get a lot of headroom out of it, play with a drummer and cut through the band.
Cool. Now is the boost just a preset level?
Yes, it's preset level on that boost.
How much?
6 dB.
And then I see there's a push button here. Is that just a pad for active or passive pickups?
Exactly right. That's exactly what that is.
It's a single channel, 3-band EQ with presence, and the wattage control. And I assume from the name of the amp that it's the L34 power section.
Good question. It comes with the L34s, but it'll also use 6 L6s or 6 V6s. And here's where it gets really cool. Inside, it's got a very smart circuit that automatically biases the tubes itself. So the user can just change the tubes, and it biases and matches. So you can change from L34s to 6 L6s, 6 V6s as you wish, any brand for different tones. And there you go, it automatically biases. And it biases over time as well. So it not only biases, it matches. So if the tubes are a little bit out of match, like up to 20% or so, it'll match them.
That's pretty convenient.
And then over time, as the tubes wear out, they do wear differently. So it'll match them and rebias over time as well.
It's really cool. Yeah. So what's going on around back?
Well, let's take a look. We've got a loop. It's a pre-out and power amp in. You can use that as a series effects loop. You've got your foot switch in. You've got 16, 8, and 4 ohm speaker inputs. You've also got a pento triode switch. So that gives you different tones as well. Higher or lower power, but it also changes the tone a little bit. Pento's a little bit brighter. Triode's a little bit warmer. And you've also got a high and low bias. What that does is it'll automatically bias it like I told you, but it'll be either at a high bias setting or a low bias setting. At the high bias setting, you get a little bit more of high harmonics. It's very.
Is that increasing like the plate voltage?
It's actually changing the bias voltage. Plate voltage stays the same at that point. Another interesting thing we have is the service port. You can plug this service port into your computer with a little interface, and it'll give you different parameters of things that are happening in the amp. So it's like bringing your car to a service center, plug it in, let's check out, see what's going on in the car. It'll tell you what the voltages are, what the bias is, how long you've used your tubes, and things like that. So it's good service information. And eventually we're going to have a handheld device that'll give you all that information. So for bands that are on tour, they can have it, plug it in, check their information out, see if everything's working properly.
All right, Mitch, so you've got another combo. Well, you have the Galileo 15, and it's available in a head or a combo. You're plugged into the combo. Tell us about that.
Okay, the combo, I'll go through the combo, and then I'll tell you about the head. So the combo has everything the head has. It has a simple single channel layout. You have gain, bass, middle, high, and master. We've added reverb to the combo. The head doesn't have that. And it's got a nice full fat clean sound using EL84s, but it's got an extra gain stage, so we're able to give you a really full of bass and treble clean sound that also could be overdriven.
Do you want to show us how that sounds?
Okay.
That sounds great. I mean,
I'm going to play the same licks as we do this from Amplifiers.
No worries. No, I was just going to comment that, you know, it's a 15-watt combo, and it's, you know, it's good size, but I can feel the floor moving here. It's a powerful amp.
Like I said, it's got a lot of bottom, a lot of top, and what we did is we voiced it in a way that it'll cut through, even if you're playing with drums, not obviously banging at full volume, but in a small venue with drums, this amp will cut through.
Cool. Now, are there any other sounds you want to play from that, or do you want to talk about the head?
Okay, well, right now is a good time to talk about the head, because basically what I've shown you here is what the head is. It's the same simple single channel amp. I mean, it will overdrive. I can show you that, and this also has a boost in the amp section, and we can foot switch that in and out.
EL84 tubes?
EL84s and 312AX7s. And we have one more feature in here that I want to show you. And that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can I ask one more thing? Now the reverb, is it spring reverb or digital? Or?
It's an full-sized Accutronics reverb, and yeah.
Okay, cool.
The last thing that the combo has that the head doesn't have, it has a built-in, what we call our tube marker pedal. It's an overdrive pedal with 3 controls, gain, volume, and tone. And you can switch that in and out with the foot switch as well.
Cool. Where is that on the front panel here? Okay, makes sense. You want to give us a taste of what that sounds like? Sounds great, man. It's a versatile little beast. Now, you've also got another amp behind you here, which, you know, these amps we've talked about so far are good for blues, rock, R&B, whatever, but this thing is packed with knobs, and it's sort of a hard rock and metal amp, right?
That's exactly right. And the name will give it away. It's called the 666, and it's a 3-channel amp. Each channel has the same exact controls: volume, treble, mid, bass, presence, and gain. And the first is your clean channel, crunch, and lead. Very simple layout on the front. It's also got an effects loop in the back and a switchable boost as well.
I'm sorry, what was the power tube section again?
The power tubes on this are KT88s. It's 120 watts using 2 KT88s, and if you're familiar with those tubes, they give you a really fat, what I call an authoritative sound. It's really bulky and muscular and beefy. Great for metal.
All right, Mitch, let's hear the first channel on the 666. Are you allowed to play that on this amp? No, that sounded great.
I'm a jazz player, so I'm doing the best I can here.
No, it sounds fantastic. All right, anything you want to say about that, or you want to move on to channel 2?
Okay, like I said, it's a big, fat, clean sound. You can see the gain is down, the master's down. It's got plenty of punch, and there's a lot more left in that channel, but we're at the show, we can't play too loud. Anyway, let's move on to channel 2, which is the crunch channel. And here we go.
It's got some thump to it. It's moving my pants.
That's the idea. Okay, and then we have the lead channel, which is voiced a little bit differently than the crunch channel.
All right, Mitch, thanks again for showing us all 3 amps in the DV Mark line. Where can people go to find out more about them?
At dvmark.it, or they'll be available in the US in June or July, and they're available exclusively at Guitar Center and Musician's Friend.
Awesome. Thanks again, Mitch.
You're welcome.
I'm Sean Hammond, and you're watching PremierGuitar.com.